2 years ago, when I first got into this, I did a video called Forest Weavers. It's one of the first 10 I did, probably. Anyway, that spot is like 150 feet up that way. And I'd done the video and I kept coming back here. Anyway, one day I had come back to the Forest Weaver site and was looking around. I started walking down this way and something ran out of this thicket I'm standing in and ran into that thicket there, which is really brambly, really thick. There's a wide, deep creek that way. That creek's probably 20 feet wide at the top and 12 feet deep. Doesn't have a lot of water in it, but it does run constantly. Just a couple inches of water. A lot of deadfall in there. It's so hard to navigate, I wouldn't even go in there. But anyway, I was walking down this way and something just took off out of this thicket. I mean, it went so fast I never saw it. But it must have covered 50 feet in a second. And that's when I dove into that thicket and followed it. I didn't know what it was, but I thought it might be worth chasing. But anyway, I came back the next day, and this limb, this is a small sycamore. It's a couple inches in diameter. This is about 5.5 feet off the ground. This was snapped over, and it was a fresh break. It had happened that night. Since whatever ran out, up here. And I don't know why it's taken me 2 years to do this. I guess I was just thinking about it today, so I revisited the site. But anyway, whatever that was, that ran really, really fast. I've heard 3 other times. This time was the first time. The second time was I had walked outside early in the morning before daybreak. Got up early and went outside and heard a thump at the back of the car. That's when the handprints were appearing on the car. Kind of heard a thump at the back of the car, and I took a few steps toward there, and something, never saw it. I just heard it. Again, it covered 50 to 100 feet in just a couple seconds. Never saw it. I ran into the shadows because it was still dark outside. Never saw it. Another time I was about a mile from here, walking down in a thicket, and something, same thing happened. Just took off like crazy, and just took off and stopped. And the thicket was so thick, I wasn't about to go in there, so I kind of backtracked about 100 feet and started going in, and all of a sudden a huge stick snap happened. So I just stopped and said, "Hello, who's there?" And no answer, so I did not go in there. I didn't know what was going on. And then the fourth time I heard it was behind the house one night. I went out to check on the chickens. They were squawking like crazy, and walked around the back, and whatever it was after dark. It was behind the house in that woods thicket of ours. We have a FM radio transmitter, low power, that we set in the window at night a lot of times, and then have just a little pocket FM radio that we listened by. And I actually had those earphones on, listening as I was walking through there. And as I came around the side of the house, it was dark by the chicken pen. I heard this, ooh, and something took off in the woods right behind the house, took off. I mean, just a second or two, you could hear it running through the bushes, and then it just stopped dead. Andrea even heard that one. I think she had walked outside about the time I had walked around the edge. But anyway, I've never seen what it was. But if what those 4 times were these creatures, these things are fast. At least the ones around here. I mean, they are fast. Like I said, I've never seen them. But I know deer don't run that fast. I've never really kicked up a cougar or anything like that. I've seen bobcats and stuff, but whatever it was crashing through the thicket. So whatever it was fairly large size. It wasn't a dog or anything like that, I'm sure of it. But anyway, this thing snapped off the very next day after the first encounter with that. I found just kind of strange. And again, why it's taken me 2 years to video this, I have no idea. Probably just kind of forgot about it or back in my mind, but I came down to revisit the forest weaver spot and thought about it and thought, well, I'm going to video this and make a little video. So anyway, if any of you guys out there has had encounters with something exceedingly fast like that can cover 50 to 100 feet in just a second or two, man, I'd like to hear about that. All righty then, until next time.